playing with Tom Brady as your quarterback, I guess, lived up to your expectations? And maybe what are some of the things that you didn't even expect that you're experiencing now with him throwing you the ball?
Honestly, I would say it's either like right on par with my expectations or even exceeding them. And I would say that just because like the type of person that he is, on and off the field, is I wasn't really sure what to expect in that regard. But like ever since he got in, he's been the same guy. He's very humble. He's very hungry. You can tell that he's really working to try to, not only to just fit in and find a space within the team, but also to be the best leader he can be, to put us on game and really give us as much knowledge as he can. And then like on the field, obviously he's, you see why he's so highly regarded as he is. Like there's some passes that he throws, I'm just man, that's unbelievable. Like the amount of touch that he has on his passes. He can still drive the ball when needed, and like he has like a really good idea about where to go with the ball at all times. So, it's been really good so far.
Most NFL teams, I think, would be happy to just have one guy that they can consider a number one wide receiver, quote unquote. You guys have two in yourself and Mike Evans. What's it like to be able to push each other and know that you're among the best at your position, but to keep making yourselves better? And also, Bruce mentioned to us the other day how he loves the fact that you guys, you have a team first mentality and personality. You're not divas. He said exactly, so what is it? What is it about that? How do you guys approach the game that way and continue to sharpen each other? What does that mean to you?
It means the world, honestly. I've been so fortunate to be in this position, and to be able to ascend, in my short career thus far, with Mike Evans, to kind of lean on. Everyone knows how dominant Mike is. I think he's one of the I think he's still one of the more underrated receivers in the league. But every time we go out there to work, we just go out there and we push each other. He knows he can lean on me. I know I can lean on him, and just we know that together we're going to push each other to be the best that we can be. Like B was saying, we're team first guys. I think the biggest thing with us is like if we're winning, yes, like we feel like us contributing is going to be is going to be to the team's benefit, but at the end of the day, if we win, like that's the most important thing. And now we have, myself, we got Mike, we got Gronk, OJ, Cam. We have so many weapons, that's going to be on display a lot more, because there are going to be games where, we may not necessarily be featured as much, but like we're here to win. We're not here to win a couple of games. We're trying to win every single game, man. You know what I mean?
All right, next up's going to be Greg Allman.
Chris, for you, knowing this offseason and the opportunities you guys have as an offense, were there things in particular you wanted to work on that you wanted to improve on from obviously what was a great season last year for you personally?
I don't necessarily know if there were like any like little things in particular. I just try to like really just improve on, my game as a whole. I think just as we go throughout the days of practice, like, like if there's something that I messed up on, then like the next day I'm focusing on not making that same mistake. I really feel like taking that approach will allow me to really be as well-rounded as possible, but also to be able to continue to make the right steps forward and not make the same mistakes.
Thanks. Okay, next is going to be James Palmer.
Chris, of all the kind of traits that make up good receivers, I feel like catch radius is one that's not really talked about as much as some of the other ones. You have a pretty good size. Is that something you can work on in the offseason to expand that? And what kind of advantage does that give you, specifically with a quarterback that can kind of put the ball wherever they want, where you can just get it?
I think it really gives you a really, really good benefit especially when you have a quarterback like Tom who is so precise with his passes. And like there's sometimes like where you may appear to be covered, to the untrained eye, but with a great ball location, and a really good catch radius, you're able to make, some spectacular catches or make some tough catches that most guys can't really make. And that's not really something like that I really just try to, work on catching the ball like wherever it comes my way. I feel like as receivers, it's our responsibility to be the eraser. And, so if there's a bad ball thrown, like, for me, I'm like, I can still catch that. And I get really hard on myself when I'm not, when I don't make the play or when I'm not in a situation where I'm like, I should have made that. So that's kind of my approach.
You spend so much time in the middle of the field, and obviously that's a place where Tom's made his career. Has he taught you anything about playing in there that you didn't know already early in camp?
Uh, Not necessarily like that I didn't know. It's more of like at this point, just nailing down, the particulars in terms of like what he's expecting. Not just from myself, and working in the middle of the field, but just for all the receivers. He's letting us know his preferences, in terms of like angles, in terms of what he's thinking on certain routes. And so as we continue to build this throughout the days of practice, we'll really, really narrow down that exact pinpoint, location of where we need to be. So, when we get to New Orleans, we're clicking on all cylinders.
Okay, next up is going to be Rick Stroud.
Chris, Brady's been known to be very demanding of all his receivers, and right now everything seems really positive, and it is. When you get into the real action and he confronts guys with a little more fire, how do you think you'll respond to that? Your receivers will respond to his competitiveness on game day, and have you seen that yet?
We're starting to kind of see the fiery edge of him come out. I'm sure like a lot of you guys can hear it, on the sideline of the field. But I fully expect that that we're going to be in situations like where we hit adversity, and there's going to be tough conversations. But like I was mentioning earlier about all of our guys being team first guys, we understand that these things aren't coming from a place of malice. We're not out here attacking people's characters. It's just the fact of the matter that we have to be better. And in order for us to get to where we need to be, we're going to have to hold each other accountable. So I fully expect that to happen. And when it does, I expect guys to really take that as take that criticism and really flip it and make the play the next time.
There's not many teams that have two talented guys with as much talent as you and Mike. Both made the Pro Bowl, and you're going to become a free agent at some point. Just how important would it be or matter to you to be able to keep that combination together because of how well you guys produce off each other?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be really dope. I think me and Mike have grown so much over the last couple of years, and like I said, that's someone that I really look up to, I admire, and he's helped me so much. So keeping that intact would definitely be something that would be beneficial for all of us. Like I said, like that's my guy. Anything I can do to roll with him, I'm rolling.
Okay, next is going to be Ira Kaufman.
Chris, fans and some players like to throw around the word unstoppable when they're talking about offenses. And, Chris, you guys ranked very high in points, yards last year, and you still led the league in giveaways. So if that gets cut down significantly, Chris, are you ready to use the word unstoppable for this offense?
I don't know if we're quite there yet, but what I will say is that, if we're able to significantly reduce not only the turnovers, but the mental errors on everybody's part, if we're able to keep, pulling the rope in the same direction, I think it's pretty scary, what our offense can be. And, I'm not really sure if there's a limit on that. We still got a long ways to go. We've done some really good things so far in camp, but, by no means are we, are we where we need to be. So, but we got some time and we got the right guys with the right mentality. So we're just going to keep getting after it.
Okay, we have time for a couple more. We're going to go to Jenna Lane.
Chris, you mentioned a few minutes ago spectacular catches. You had one yesterday at the very end of practice in the corner of the end zone. When you have those kinds of moments, especially when it's a new quarterback, what does that do for you? What did that moment yesterday do for you? And how did that kind of impact where you're at in terms of developing chemistry with Brady? You feel like it reached another level yesterday?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think catches like those and plays like those are really, really significant, especially early in camp, because, like you said, we're still trying to build our chemistry. We're trying to, build that rapport. And in order to do that, in order to build that trust, quarterbacks need to feel like if I give you a shot on a 50-50 ball, that more times than more than 50%, that you're going to make the play. And I think you saw that, with, the catch that I made, and then the next play, J Watt made a play, and then later on, a couple plays later, OJ made a play. So like we're really beginning to build that chemistry just all around. Like I said, we got so many talented guys, and we got so many guys that can really make spectacular plays, that if we just keep working, we're going to be right where we need to be.
Okay, we're going to go to Tom Krasnicki.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for doing this. Hope you're doing well. I just want to piggyback on Rick's question from a couple of minutes ago. You mentioned that you wanted to be here long term. You are in a contract year, so have the Buccaneers approached you yet about a contract extension?
No, we haven't gotten too far on that. Obviously, you know, there's a lot of things that need to go on, you know, behind the scenes. And that's not necessarily something that I'm really focused on. I think the biggest thing right now for me is trying to make sure that I'm ready, you know, for New Orleans. I think we have a really, really special opportunity here. Obviously, like with the load of talented guys on both sides of the ball, you know, and for me, I've always been focused, like I said, on team and on making sure that I can control the things that I can control, and that's my play on the field. So, you know, I'm gonna do my best to continue to do that, be the best teammate I can be, you know, in hopes that it shows on the field.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all for our regular media availability. We have one question from Carmen from our Junior Bucks program.
Hey, Chris. I actually have two questions from two little Junior Bucks fans for you. The first one is, who do you think is the fastest Buccaneer on the team?
Oh, that's a tough question, but I would definitely have to go with my boy Scotty Miller. He's so small, but he's so fast. Like there's so many times where like he'll run a route and I look at, you know, Mike or Jay, I'm like, yo, how is he so fast? So gotta give props to my boy Scotty.
Okay, well then another Junior Bucks fan who looked about 4 or 5 years old wanted to know how fast you are and if you think that you could beat him in a race.
Oh, do I think I can beat Scotty or the Junior Bucks fan?
No, the Junior Bucks fan.
I don't know if I can beat him. But I'm pretty fast. But clearly, I need to work on my speed, though. You know, sometimes kids can get up on you and they'll really take off.
Absolutely. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
No problem.
That's all for today. Chris, appreciate you taking the time.
No doubt. Y'all stay safe.